You know, she didn't write it.
So,
But she still had to take out a
Oh,
loan
sure,
on her house,
sure.
a mortgage on her house, and
that's
come
some-
out.
now you also had an arbitration involving a time clock.
Yeah, the gentleman was definitely a big mouth. He, you know, didn't like authority, and he was very outspoken. And you know, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So I don't know what the situation was with the company, but this was in Indiana, and it was about signing a punch, you know, a time card. They fired him. So this went into negotiations with the union. I came out, he didn't sign it. It wasn't his writing. At the end of the whole thing, he was proved that he was innocent, and he collected a lot of money on back pay because he had been out of work for a long time. Now, whether they're just looking for a reason to get rid of him because he's so outspoken, just didn't want him, I mean, I don't know what the situation was, but he really didn't write it.
But the the same analysis that you use for the arbitration and the forged time records is the same analysis that you use pretty much across the board.
Absolutely.
You know, that's your
There
that's
are
your,
between
that's your science.
40 and 50 different things that we look at. The slope of the writing, for example, the beginning strokes,
Right.
the ending strokes, the connecting strokes. Are they thready? Are they angular? Some people write angular, some people write curved. Are they arcade? There's so many different things that you can tell.
I keep looking at my my handwriting sample, and I'm all over the lot. And we're going to get to that in just a moment. Can you tell from photocopies whether the document's forged or not, or does it makes no?
Again, we always want originals.
Okay.
But there,
It's
in
more
terms of
diff-
the writing habits, there's really only 3 or 4 things that we can tell from the original that we can't from a good, clear photocopy. So if I get good, clear copies, we go through the other 40 things that you can tell about a signature, and I can tell.
Now, can you tell if something's been if it's been mechanically altered?
Yeah, sometimes people will remove a sheet from a 34-page will or whatever it happens, or a
Right.
contract. They'll change it and put the sheet back in. Well, you can analyze paper, you can analyze inks, the staples become a big factor, because if you look at staples under tremendous magnification, you can tell if a sheet has been stapled twice or only once, and you can tell that that one document itself only had one staple hole in it.
Right.
You can tell. It's very difficult, even with Photoshop, for somebody to take like a paragraph out and put one in. They have to align it perfectly, and
Right.
usually they can't. And they also have, I have one here that I can show that somebody did a cut and paste.
Let's see it.
I told you ahead of time I wasn't going to do that. We're looking at the bottom 3 signatures, and there were 2 reasons that I knew almost immediately that these 3 documents were not genuine. If you look very closely, you may be able to pick up, there's a line at the top of the signature that is not straight. You can see where someone took scissors and went across and actually cut the signature out of something and then did an actual cut and paste and put it onto another document. And also, these 3 signatures are identical, and that's not possible in our field. Your entire lifetime, it's not possible. There's natural variation that you cannot sign your name exactly the same twice. I also found in this case, out of the samples of signatures, known signatures, I was able to identify the signature they took. So that, it really was, at that point, it's an open shut. There's 3 things that you can tell that they're not. So this is actually a genuine signature of my client. It's his signature, but it's a fraudulent document. So there's a difference there, too. I mean, like in photocopies, I can tell if his signature is genuine. I can't tell how it was placed onto the paper without the original.
Now, when you analyze the different types of paper, do you have to bring some other expert in, or is that within
Well, it
your
really
expertise?
depends. If it's good quality paper from an attorney's office, the paper has watermarks in it.
Right.
If you take a sheet of paper from good quality and you hold it up to the light, you can see like a picture. In that, they changed the markings every year. So the company's name is going to be under the logo, and this letter will be underlined this year. Next year, there'll be a little spot over here, or next year there'll be that spot there. So all I have to do is take a photograph on it in what's called a light box. Take a photograph I can send it to a particular place, and they can give me the year. So I may not know after that now, but I know the earliest time that that paper was available.
Bob, we have just a few minutes left. I'm dying to find out what my personality shows on my handwriting over here. In a nutshell, how does that work? How can you look at my handwriting and say, well, you're a procrastinator, or you're a type A, or you're this or that? How do you do that?
First of all, we're jumping now. We're no longer in the document examining field.
We're into the graphologist.
We're going into the handwriting analysis, graphology type field.
Yeah.
And there are probably close to 100 things you can tell about someone from the handwriting. The first book written on it was 1662 by Emilio Baldo. And here is what I have.
Well, here, take my original and
Let's just
show
this
everybody.
is what I had.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Come
No,
on.
that's fine. I like to get 3/4 of a page of cursive writing, and it's really a percentage game. There's a bunch of things I can tell just about the letter T from a writer. So if I'm looking at one of those, I have to look at every T on the sheet
Okay.
for that particular trait. And then maybe it's 30% this way, 70% this way. So now that gives me a clearer, more precise view of his personality.
So unreliable.
No. That wasn't on there. The biggest thing that jumped off the page with me was your persistence. No matter what the job is, you're going to get it done. And I saw that in more than one place. So I know that that is an absolute true factor. You have a job to do, you're going to do it. If I was doing job placement, go ahead.
Well, that's because I'm a guy and I can't multitask. I can only do one thing at a time. So I got to finish that before I do the next one.
Well, not everybody's like that, trust me. I see you have a lockdown code of ethics. I was very impressed, actually.
Oh.
A lockdown code of ethics. Whatever your belief system is, it is never going to change. Somebody might suggest something to you that's out of the norm or not quite. No, I'm sorry, I don't do that. And an honest person. You can tell honesty in the letter O. I was very impressed. That was nice and refreshing.
That's, I like you.
I'm not done, no way. I just got to get my glasses for the other one. I saw that this trait, you enjoy learning. You want to find things out. I use an example this way. If you're going to buy a Cadillac and you happen to tell your friend said, "You're kidding me. I just bought one last week. I went to every Cadillac dealer within a 50-mile radius. You have to buy it at this particular dealership." Now you would say, "Thank you very much." But now you got to go online and you got to go and type in and find out for yourself. You need to find things out for yourself. A lot of people would say, "Man, you just saved me 2 weeks of work." They'd go to that dealership and buy the car. So, I mean, these are not positive or negative traits. They are just what is. But you also are, I guess as part of the honesty, what we call frank, which means that you're not going to walk up to somebody and tell them they're an idiot, for the most part,
Right.
usually. But if somebody asks your opinion, "I need your honest opinion on this," you're going to tell it exactly the way it is.
There you go. Wow.
Yeah, so we can tell that.
All right, let's stop there, okay? I don't want to. You're doing good so far.
You know,
I don't want to hear it.
You don't mess it up.
I don't want to mess it up. But we probably already ran over our time. But just one last thing. What a fascinating job you have. What's it like being a handwriting expert?
When my kids were small, I couldn't go to a back-to-school night. They write on the board.
Yeah.
I come home and tell them, "Oh, are you in trouble this year?" Whatever this person says, they're going to follow through with it all. I tell them all about the teacher for the year.
Well, Bob, we have run out of time. I want to thank you so much for being on the show. And, boy, I can't wait till I have a handwriting case to hire you as my expert. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. This is a lot of fun.
Hi, I'm Mark Gruber. This is Law Talk Today. We've been talking to Bob Baier, handwriting expert. Join us next week, and thank you for watching.